All right, so welcome back. I am so pumped for today's deep dive.
Yeah.
You guys know we build these around stuff that you send in, and this one is juicy. We're going behind the scenes with MrBeast.
Oh, yeah.
With his silly little book, as he calls it, How to Succeed at MrBeastProduction.pdf.
I love that.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's so MrBeast.
And it's like a treasure trove of strategies, really. It's straight from the mind of like one of YouTube's biggest stars.
Yeah, what I think is super interesting is that he put this together himself. You know, like his team's getting so big that not everyone gets that firsthand experience of like the early days and how he like built this whole thing. So he's like dawdling up the MrBeast secret sauce.
Yeah, like he's sharing it.
And putting it in this document.
Totally. Yeah, and believe me, there are some nuggets in here that like blew my mind. Like we're talking about how he like obsessively analyzes what makes videos go viral.
Yeah.
How he creates those wow moments that everyone remembers, and like production strategies that honestly like defy all logic, but somehow work brilliantly.
And that's where I come in, right? To help like decode the MrBeast approach. We'll like sift through the gold, separate the hype from like the truly insightful stuff. And hopefully you'll walk away with some practical takeaways that you can use in your own world, you know?
Yeah.
Whether you're a content creator or just like someone who wants to learn from the best.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the goal.
Exactly. And right off the bat, he makes this thing clear. This isn't Hollywood, right? Like this is MrBeast. And he hammers this point about like the difference between traditional media and like his YouTube first mindset.
It's such a crucial distinction because like MrBeast isn't bound by those old school rules of filmmaking. Like his North Star is virality.
Yeah.
Pure and simple.
Yeah.
Like he's constantly adapting, experimenting, throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks on YouTube. And if it means breaking the rules to reach a wider audience, so be it.
Right, and he's got the data to back it up.
Oh, yeah.
Like he breaks down how most YouTube videos experience this massive viewer drop-off within the first minute.
Like the cliff.
Yeah, and he shows like graphs from his own videos to illustrate this. Like it's steep.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's like, you know, you got to nail that opening.
You lose them.
Or you've lost them, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a lesson we can all apply, you know. Whether you're giving a presentation, pitching an idea, even just like striking up a conversation, how you start sets the tone.
Oh, yeah.
And it determines if people lean in or tune out.
100%.
That first impression is everything.
Think about it. Like, how many times have you clicked away from a video in the first few seconds?
All the time.
I know, right?
If it doesn't grab me.
Yeah, like, why am I watching this?
Yeah. MrBeast, he understands this better than anyone. And that's why he meticulously plans out those opening moments.
Yeah, those opening moments to like hook you, and then he gets into the different segments of a video, breaking it down like minute by minute.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, his approach to pacing and storytelling is kind of mind-blowing.
Oh.
Like it's not this like linear, predictable structure you'd expect.
No. He talks about front-loading the most captivating content early on, and then using what he calls re-engagement moments throughout the video to keep viewers glued to the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember that moment in the prison video?
Oh my gosh.
Where Carl is just like watching Josh?
Oh man, pure gold. Like I burst out laughing. It came out of nowhere. Totally weird, but so classically MrBeast.
Exactly. It's like unexpected, hilarious, and it reinforces that only MrBeast can do this feeling.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
Like these seemingly random moments are actually carefully calculated to keep us engaged, and they highlight what makes his channel unique.
Yeah, it's so true. Now this is where things get really interesting. So MrBeast dives into this idea of like the wow factor.
Oh yeah.
You know, and he defines it as anything that no other YouTuber can do, and backs it up with this insane example of like the house being crane lifted into the circle challenge.
I mean, come on.
Come on.
Who else is doing that?
That was bonkers.
It's so smart, like from a psychological perspective.
It is.
Because it creates a lasting impression.
Yeah.
It makes him stand out in a sea of creators. Like we remember those unexpected, mind-blowing moments that make us go, wait, what did I just see?
Totally, yeah.
But
like he's engineered his content to be instantly shareable and meme-worthy. And it works.
Oh, yeah.
But then he shifts gears.
Right.
And gets into his production principles where he stresses the importance of results over hours worked, hiring only A players and squashing bottlenecks like they're ants.
Right. It's all about efficiency.
Yeah.
And building a team of like top performers.
Yeah.
When he talks about A players, he's not just referring to skills.
Oh, no.
He's looking for passionate, driven individuals, people who are always learning, pushing themselves. Think about your own work, right? Like, are you that person who goes above and beyond? Do you actively seek out ways to grow your skills?
Yeah.
These are the qualities that set you apart.
Yeah, those are the things that, yeah.
And that's what MrBeast is looking for.
And then he drops this like bombshell, say the negative.
Oh, yeah.
And he uses this example of like finding a castle for a video and tells his team to call out like the potential issues up front. Even jokes. We found the perfect castle, but it's booked all year, over budget, and someone died in it last week.
I love that.
Transparency, he argues, leads to better solutions.
Think about it in a broader context, right?
Yeah.
It's about managing risks and communicating proactively. By addressing problems head on, you can often prevent them from snowballing into major disasters.
Yeah.
Hiding problems just makes them worse.
Oh, yeah. That's so true. It's like, yeah, you're just kicking the can down the road. And the can's getting bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah, and heavier. So, like, he's not just about those big, flashy moments.
Right.
You know, he's got the systems in place to actually make them happen. He's all about finding those cheat codes for success. And he claims one of the biggest is, wait for it,
Consultants.
using consultants.
It's a brilliant strategy that we often overlook.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes the fastest way to solve a problem is to find someone who has already tackled it.
Yes.
Tapping into that external expertise can save you time, money, and a whole lot of headaches.
Yes.
Why reinvent the wheel?
Right. Right. Why are we doing this when someone else has already figured this out?
Exactly.
They.
Pay the money, get the knowledge.
And he goes so far as to say, you should always be asking yourself, is there a consultant for this?
Oh, yeah.
Even if it seems like unconventional for the task at hand, it's about leveraging existing knowledge to boost your own progress.
Absolutely. We often get stuck in our own ways of thinking.
Yeah.
But recognizing what you don't know
Yeah.
and finding the right people to fill those gaps can be a game changer.
So true. So true. Now, let's talk about the core of like content creation. MrBeast makes this bold statement. The goal of all our content is to excite me.
Yeah.
At first, it sounds a little self-centered,
Right.
but then he explains his reasoning.
What's fascinating here is that he uses his own excitement as a gauge for audience engagement.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's essentially saying, like, if he's not genuinely thrilled about a video concept, it won't translate to the screen. His passion is a filter for quality control.
That's pretty insightful.
Yeah.
You know, and that ties into his like relentless pursuit of innovation. He's constantly pushing boundaries, trying new things, and never settling for good enough.
You could just tell, like, watching the video.
Like, he's always like, how do we make this bigger? How do we make this crazier? Yeah. And he even states this, like he says, every frame of our videos will be seen by tens of millions of people.
It's true.
So the stakes are incredibly high.
Yeah. This begs the question, like, how do you define success in content creation?
Right.
And MrBeast has a clear answer: data.
Data.
He dives into like specific metrics like CTR, which stands for click-through rate.
Yeah.
So how many people see the video thumbnail and actually click.
Yeah.
Then there's AVD, or average view duration,
Right.
showing how long people stick around.
Yeah.
These are the numbers he uses to understand what's working and what's not.
Totally.
You know,
Like, it's not just, oh, this feels good, this is a good idea. It's
Yeah.
like, what does the data say?
show me the numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
What's interesting is he shows real retention graphs from 2 videos.
Oh, yeah.
And the one with better AVD and AVP got triple the views.
Yeah.
It really highlights how data can inform creative decisions and help you figure out what resonates with your audience.
It's so powerful, you know?
Yeah. He also explains the power of like strong formats, you know, like the last to leave challenges
Oh, yeah.
and his stair-stepping approach where the challenges get progressively harder throughout the video.
Oh, yeah.
Think of it like levels in a video game, right?
Yeah.
Like the stakes get higher, the tension builds, and we can't help but keep watching.
Yeah.
He's a master at building anticipation and delivering those payoffs.
Absolutely. But he doesn't stop there. He actually, like, analyzes his audience, showing, like, demographic data from YouTube's backend.
Oh,
You know? And he acknowledges that his viewership is diverse, but identifies his core audience as, and I quote, teenage mimmers who like video games.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, what does that tell us?
It underscores the importance of knowing your target audience, right?
Yeah.
And tailoring your content to their interests. Like, who are you trying to reach? What do they care about? What kind of content will resonate with them?
Those are great questions. And I think the answer for us today is anyone who wants to learn from MrBeast.
That's right.
Because, get this, he straight up tells his team, you should watch our videos.
Love it.
He argues that there's valuable knowledge to be gained from, like, immersing yourself in the content, understanding the channel's history, and recognizing what's made it successful.
It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind, you know?
Yeah, totally.
And lose sight of the bigger picture. But regularly consuming your own content or content in your field can help you stay informed, spot trends, and maintain that connection with your target audience.
So true, so true. Now, he dives into brand deals.
Oh, yeah.
And his approach is, well, it's quite interesting.
Oh, yeah? Tell me about it.
He insists that for him, they are content, not interruptions.
I love that.
Right. He contrasts this with, like, those traditional brand integrations that often feel forced and disruptive.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, they just shoehorn it in.
Yeah.
It's so obvious.
His approach is far more subtle and effective.
Yeah.
He weaves brands into the narrative in a way that feels organic and entertaining.
Yeah, like it's part of the story. It makes sense why the brand is there.
Exactly. And remember those retention graphs we talked about?
Yeah.
This minimizes those viewer drop-offs.
Totally.
Because the brand integration feels like a natural part of the story.
Yeah.
And that's key.
And it works.
Yeah.
He even shares this anecdote about a CEO who sponsored one of his videos and claimed that it generated 1.7 times the return they typically see from an NFL championship game ad.
What?
That's insane.
That's huge.
So clearly, like, his approach is working.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the power of authenticity and engagement. By treating brand deals as content, he's respecting his audience's time and attention while still delivering value to his sponsors. It's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, I love that. Win-win. Everyone wins.
Exactly.
Now, before we wrap up this first part of our deep dive, there's one more crucial insight from MrBeast that I want to touch on.
Okay.
He talks about the importance of understanding culture and what he calls your information diet.
Ooh. Okay, tell me more.
Right. So this is such a critical point, and he uses Chris Tyson, his longtime friend and collaborator, as an example. Chris is hilarious, always making people laugh. And MrBeast attributes this to Chris's constant consumption of, and I quote, cartoons and stupid expletive.
Oh my God, I love Chris.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
He's hilarious. And he's saying that, like, Chris's information diet, right, of lighthearted, goofy content has shaped his, like, comedic sense.
Oh,
and given him, like, this vast well of, like, references to draw from.
That's fascinating, Nora.
It is.
Because think about, like, the things you consume, right?
Yeah.
Books, movies, articles, social media, they all shape your perspective, your knowledge base, your creative output. Be mindful of your own information diet and how it might be influencing your thinking.
It's such a good point. It's a powerful reminder that inspiration can come from unexpected sources.
Oh, yeah.
Don't limit yourself to the obvious or the serious stuff.
Right.
Sometimes the most creative ideas emerge from exploring the seemingly silly or absurd.
Oh.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but we're just getting started.
I'm ready for more.
I know, right? We'll be back in a flash to dive deeper into MrBeast's world.
Can't wait.
Don't go anywhere.
So good. It's like he's saying, like, you know, don't underestimate the power of playful inspiration.
Yeah.
He actually encourages his writers and directors to actively cultivate their, information diets, to consume content that sparks new ideas and keeps them ahead of the curve. His philosophy is you can't get inspired by things you don't know exist.
So true. It's about constantly expanding your horizons and exposing yourself to new things. You never know where that next spark of creativity will come from.
He's really emphasizing the importance of understanding, like, broader cultural trends, right? Like those viral memes, what's resonating with people on different platforms.
Right.
This is crucial in the fast-paced world of online content where trends can shift overnight.
Yeah, it's like he's got his finger on the pulse of the internet.
Totally.
Always looking for those emerging patterns that'll fuel his next viral hit. He's not just reacting to trends, he's anticipating them.
Absolutely. That requires a deep understanding of the cultural landscape and a willingness to experiment, to try things that others might think are crazy.
And speaking of trying things, MrBeast gives some really specific advice on how to find and cultivate inspiration. He tells his team, apply this to everything on this expletive planet.
I love that.
Right.
It's a call to action, to be endlessly curious.
Yes.
To explore, to constantly feed your brain with new knowledge and experiences. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. That's where the magic often happens.
So true. So far, we've talked about virality, production principles, the importance of creativity, and that information diet. What other gems did you unearth from this MrBeast playbook?
Well, he shares a bunch of like seemingly random but incredibly insightful tips.
Yeah.
Like a rapid-fire download of lessons he's learned along the way.
Okay, I like it.
He emphasizes the importance of videoing everything, especially when scouting locations or getting crucial components for a video.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
It's all about clear communication and making sure everyone's on the same page. By documenting everything visually, you eliminate confusion and misunderstandings. It's like having a video record of decisions and progress, which can be incredibly valuable, especially for complex projects.
Totally, yeah.
He also talks about identifying and protecting critical components.
Okay.
These are the things that are essential to the video. The elements that, if they go wrong, the whole project falls apart.
Oh, so important.
Right, so it's about laser focus and prioritizing.
Yeah.
You need to identify those make or break elements and protect them at all costs. He uses the example of securing an island for a video, where the whole premise is to give that island away to one of the contestants.
Oh my gosh.
No island.
Yeah.
No video. Simple as that.
It sounds obvious, but I feel like it's easy to get lost in the details and lose sight of the big picture.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know? MrBeast's approach reminds us to constantly ask ourselves, like, what are the critical components here? What absolutely has to go right?
It's a lesson in risk management and strategic planning.
Yeah. Big time. Now, let's talk about leadership.
Okay.
MrBeast shares some insights into his management style, and it's definitely not what you'd expect from, like, typical CEO.
Yeah.
He encourages his team to be brutally honest with each other.
Oh yeah.
Even if it means delivering, like, tough feedback. He literally says, I'd rather you be honest with each other than nice to each other.
Wow.
I know.
Like radical transparency.
Right.
He values transparency and constructive criticism above all else.
Yeah.
He recognizes that sugarcoating things or avoiding difficult conversations, like, it only hinders growth and improvement. He wants his team to challenge each other and push each other to be better.
It's a culture of, like, high expectations and accountability. It's not about coddling people, it's about pushing them to reach their full potential.
Okay.
And he's not afraid to call people out when they're not performing.
Right.
But he also emphasizes learning from those mistakes and moving forward.
Yeah. It's about fostering a growth mindset within the team,
Totally.
where failure is seen as a learning opportunity, not a reason to give up.
Right. And he offers some really practical advice on, like, managing your workload and priorities. He tells his team, nothing comes before your prios. It's all about focus and discipline, especially when you're juggling multiple projects and deadlines.
Yeah, it's a reminder that we often get bogged down in minutiae, those urgent but not important tasks,
Oh, yeah.
and lose sight of what truly matters. MrBeast stresses the importance of staying laser-focused on the tasks that will move the needle, those activities that align with your top priorities.
And he tells this funny story about how even if the studio is burning down,
Oh my God.
you shouldn't let it distract you from completing those priority tasks. Of course, it's hyperbole, but it highlights his point.
Right.
It's about maintaining that focus even amidst chaos. Don't let distractions derail you from what matters most.
The man is a walking, talking productivity hack.
I know, right? And then he delves into the nuances of communication.
Huh.
He encourages his team to utilize what he calls higher forms of communication, like in-person conversations or phone calls for complex or sensitive topics.
Yeah, he recognizes that written communication, like emails or texts, can often lead to misinterpretations or misunderstandings.
Right, yeah.
Especially when nuance is involved. Sometimes, a quick conversation can clear up confusion much faster than a lengthy email chain.
He's a big believer in, like, that direct face-to-face interaction, especially when the stakes are high. It's about building those relationships and fostering clear communication.
Right.
To avoid, costly mistakes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Another gem, he stresses the importance of taking ownership of your mistakes and avoiding excuses. He says, I hate excuses, and I despise with my entire soul when people just try to save face instead of learning from how they messed up.
Ooh, shots fired.
I know, right? But he's right. It's about owning your actions.
Right.
Both the successes and the failures.
Right.
Everyone makes mistakes.
For sure.
But it's what you do with those mistakes that matters.
Exactly.
MrBeast encourages his team to view those missteps as opportunities for learning and growth.
Yeah.
Not reasons to point fingers.
Right.
Or play the blame game.
Right. He fosters a culture of continuous learning and improvement. It's not about being perfect, but about striving to be better every day.
I love that. He also uses this phrase, push outwards, not inwards, which I found quite intriguing. What do you think he means by that?
I think he's advocating for a proactive, solutions-oriented mindset.
Okay.
Don't get bogged down by internal problems or limitations. Instead, focus your energy on expanding your reach, your impact, your sphere of influence. Look for opportunities to break new ground and challenge the status quo.
It's about pushing boundaries, just like he does with his YouTube content. He's constantly innovating and exploring new frontiers, and he expects his team to adopt a similar mindset.
Absolutely.
He's also a huge advocate for pulling all-nighters in the weeks leading up to a shoot. He believes that front-loading the effort, putting in those extra hours early on, can significantly reduce stress and increase the likelihood of success. It's all about proactive planning and preparation.
It's interesting because he's essentially saying, like, choose your hard.
Yeah.
Would you rather cram and scramble the last minute or put in the work up front to make things smoother down the line?
Yeah, exactly. It's about making a conscious decision to invest the effort early on to create a more manageable and ultimately more successful process.
Totally.
This document is like a masterclass in unconventional wisdom.
Seriously.
He even talks about the importance of being adaptable and resourceful, especially when things inevitably go wrong on set. He tells his team, if something goes wrong on a shoot, always check to see if it can be made into content.
Oh, that's so good.
Right.
It's that classic MrBeast mentality of turning lemons into lemonade.
Totally.
He's a master at taking unexpected events and weaving them into the narrative, often creating even more compelling content in the process.
It's about embracing those curveballs and finding creative solutions.
Yeah.
He doesn't let setbacks derail him. He finds a way to make them work to his advantage.
It's a testament to his quick thinking and adaptability. He's always looking for the opportunity in every challenge.
And it's not just about, like, the creative side of things. He also encourages his team to be mindful of, like, the PR implications of their actions, saying never do anything that could make us look bad from a PR perspective.
This highlights his awareness of the broader media landscape and the importance of maintaining a positive brand image. Every decision, every action can have consequences.
Right.
It's about thinking strategically and being mindful of how your actions will be perceived by the public.
He's not just thinking about creating entertaining videos. He's building a brand, a business, a legacy. And he understands that reputation is everything.
Truth.
So moving on to the creative process, MrBeast emphasizes the importance of using renderings to visualize sets and concepts before actually building them.
Oh, interesting.
And he clearly explains the difference between a previs, which is a visualization of what they plan to build, and a concept, which is a rendering used purely for inspiration. This distinction ensures everyone understands what they're looking at and prevents confusion or disappointment down the line.
Oh, smart. Yeah, it's about setting clear expectations.
Yeah.
And ensuring everyone is on the same page from the very beginning.
Yes.
Imagine getting excited about a breathtaking concept rendering, only to find out later that it's not feasible to actually build. That's a recipe for frustration and wasted effort.
MrBeast is meticulous about every aspect of the production process, from the initial brainstorming to the final execution.
Cool.
And he encourages his team to adopt a similar level of attention to detail.
Right.
He's not looking for shortcuts or half-hearted efforts.
No.
He wants his team to be thoughtful, deliberate, and precise in their work. He believes that quality is in the details.
So we've uncovered some serious gold in this document.
Dude, I know.
MrBeast's insights are a blend of practical advice, unconventional wisdom, and a relentless drive to push boundaries.
Yeah.
But there's still more to explore.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be back after a quick break to dive into the final chapter of this MrBeast saga, where he gets surprisingly personal and shares his vision for the future.
Stay tuned. We're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into MrBeast's world.
Let's do it.
We've covered so much, like his unique approach to YouTube, his obsession with data, those crazy wow moments, his like meticulous production principles.
Right.
But in this final chapter, he gets surprisingly personal, talking about the future of his company and what it means for those who work alongside him.
It's not just about like building a successful business for him. It's about creating opportunities for those who are willing to like go all in and become indispensable. There's a real sense of ambition, not just for himself, but for his entire team. He talks about building a multi-billion-dollar company and creating a legacy that extends far beyond, viral videos.
Yeah, and he even challenges the traditional corporate ladder, saying, we don't do yearly reviews. We do whenever the expletive you want reviews.
I love that.
I know.
So Mr. Beast.
Right. Like, he encourages his team to be proactive, to define their own goals and seek feedback on how to achieve them. It's not about waiting for permission or climbing some, like, predetermined ladder.
Right.
It's about taking ownership of your career and pushing yourself to grow.
It's a very entrepreneurial approach.
Yeah.
He's looking for self-starters, people who are driven and constantly striving to improve. He doesn't want to micromanage or hold anyone back. He wants people who are hungry to learn and eager to contribute.
And he puts it bluntly, if you want to become a production manager, tell James your intention and ask him why you suck and how you can become better.
Wow.
I know, it's direct, it's brutally honest, but it's also incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
He's fostering a culture where growth and development are not just encouraged, but expected.
And he's willing to reward those who step up and deliver. He talks about offering incredible experiences, a fun place to work, and of course more money than you could ever dream of making at any other company. It's clear that he values his team and wants to create an environment where they can thrive, like both professionally and personally.
Yeah. He's not just building a company, he's building like a community of passionate, driven individuals who share his vision for pushing the limits of what's possible. It's infectious.
It is.
That energy and ambition. It makes you want to be part of something bigger than yourself.
And it's clear that he genuinely believes in the power of YouTube and the potential of his company to achieve something truly extraordinary. He sees a future where online content can rival, even surpass, traditional media. And he wants to bring his team along for the ride.
And he ends the document with this classic MrBeast line. Now read this all over again because I guarantee you didn't retain enough. It's direct, it's challenging, and it's also kind of playful. He knows he's packed a lot of information into this silly little book, and he wants to make sure his team absorbs it all.
It's a reminder that learning is an ongoing process. There's always more to discover, more to learn, more to improve. We should never stop seeking new knowledge and insights, no matter what field we're in.
So true. So what does this all mean for you? We've extracted a ton of valuable insights from this MrBeast playbook, his data-driven approach, his unconventional production strategies, his emphasis on creativity and innovation, and the importance of curating your information diet. But there's one, overarching takeaway that I think is most important.
MrBeast's success isn't just about big budgets or crazy stunts.
No.
It's about a relentless pursuit of excellence.
Yes.
A deep understanding of his audience and a willingness to defy conventional wisdom. It's about embracing the power of YouTube and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the world of online content.
And maybe, just maybe, it's about finding those people who share your passion, those A players who are willing to go all in and build something truly extraordinary together. So here's a thought to leave you with. What's your wow factor? What one unconventional idea could you bring to your work or your life that would make people say, wait, did that just happen?
Don't be afraid to dream big, to experiment, to embrace your creativity. MrBeast has shown us that anything is possible if you're willing to challenge the status quo and push the limits of what others believe is achievable. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the mind of MrBeast.
And remember, we build these deep dives around the materials you send in. So if there's something you'd love for us to unpack, send it our way. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing those boundaries.